Awesome.
Oh, Meter, thank you so much. Okay, I just put the record button on here. This is something I'm going to save for the rest of my life. So I should have put it on before you came on, Meter. I apologize, but yeah, if you guys are going to sing Happy Birthday, I'm recording it. So let's see how good you sound.
Go ahead, Dustin. You're next, and then we're going to go down the line and sing Happy Birthday after this. Go ahead, Dustin.
Hey guys, Dustin from Fargo, North Dakota. Happy birthday, Tim.
Thanks, brother. I appreciate you. You've been with us every single day from the beginning, and God bless you, sir. And thank you for everything that you do in this movement.
Go ahead, True Patriot. It's your turn.
Happy birthday, Tim, and many, many more in good health.
5-5, True Patriot. Thank you so much. I love you. Thank you for coming on again. Appreciate you.
Glory, you want to go ahead, Glory?
Yes, happy birthday, Tim. And I do believe this time next year it's going to be even a happier birthday.
5-5, sister. I feel it too. Yeah, can you feel it? Thank you so much. God bless you, and thanks for joining us again.
And then we have Hot Rod Brett. Do you want to say hello or happy birthday to Tim? Go ahead, Hot Rod Brett.
Happy birthday, Tim. Hope you've had a wonderful day.
Thank you, Hot Rod. Yeah, I've had a wonderful day, and you guys just put the icing on the cake for me right now. So thank you so much from the bottom of my heart, and on behalf of my son Matthew, who's laying down on the couch. He had 2 full servings of some beautiful Chinese food tonight, which he absolutely loves, and he's going to be listening to our Qschqql again tonight. Matthew, can you say Trump? Trump, that a boy. Back to you.
Love it. And Scott, Scott's the last one. You want to say hi, Scott, and happy birthday to Tim? Then we're going to sing him happy birthday.
Hey, Tim, happy birthday to you, brother. Good seeing you today.
Well, thanks, Scott. Thank you. Oh, Peacekeeper, yay, brother. Go ahead. Another beautiful manager here on the Qschqql. Go ahead.
Happy Souls Day, Tim. And you got 1 year on me.
Oh, wow. Hey, so now we know how old you are. That's interesting. Yeah. And you're probably going to work hard to catch up to me too, right?
Oh, I work hard every day.
Okay, guys, let's open our mics and make a lot of noise. Sorry, you guys ready? Everybody open their mics. Everybody has the chance. Let's sing happy birthday. Everyone but Tim, Scott, everyone. Let's make some noise, guys. Southern Gal, Annie Oakley, open your mics. Carol Ann, are you guys ready? Let's do this. Happy birthday. Come on, everybody.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, dear Tim.
Happy birthday to you.
Oh, that was freaky, man. We've never had that many mics open all at the same time. Now we know what it sounds like. Thank you so much, everybody. I'm not crying. You are. Wow.
Oh, we love you so much, Tim. So we wanted to do that anyway. We may be doing it 2 or 3 more times the more people come in. But anyway, I'm glad you recorded it for you to save now that we can do that too. So everybody has their mic open. If anybody wants to share something before Kyle comes in, go ahead, guys.
And also, I have a request too, a birthday request. I'd love to have Sister Kelly come on and before Qschqql. Maybe this would be a good time to bless us all today, March 4th, with a beautiful prayer for all of our families around the world as we continue this fight. Kelly, would you be able to do that?
Sure. Would you like me to do it now?
Yeah, I would, please. Yeah, everybody bow your heads. Kelly, this is Kelly, Sister Kelly, beautiful warrior with grace, one of the 4 managers here at Qschqql. Go ahead, Kelly, when you're ready.
Okay. Well, I'm going to try something different tonight with all of you. This is something I have done a lot of my life, and I lay my hands on myself and I bless my spirit. So I'm going to do that now. And I try to every day. It's kind of like commanding my spirit, bless the Lord, oh my soul, bless the Lord, and just kind of commanding my spirit to do that, my soul to do that, and to put my heart before the Lord first thing in the morning. So Father, I come before you, and I just want to spend my day gazing on you and putting my heart before you. And I just say, bless the Lord, oh my soul, bless the Lord. Father, I thank you that your mercies are new every morning. And I thank you for the benefits that we have in walking with you. Father, I thank you that it's your desire to nurture us and to love us. And Father, I thank you that you call us upward in Christ and in your ways, and to walk with you, Father. You're a loving Heavenly Father. You are a kind Heavenly Father. You are a good Heavenly Father. And Lord, I ask that you would release your goodness over each and every one of us. Father, I ask that you would release your presence. Father, you're always here. You never leave us nor forsake us. But I ask that, Holy Spirit, that you would come and move amongst us, and that you would manifest your presence over us, and that we would feel your love, that we would feel your heart towards us, that we would experience your goodness. Father, I thank you that you're transcendent over all things. And Father, no matter what's going on in the world, you're still above it all. And Father, I do thank you that you're bringing a shaking, and that you're shaking the nations, and that as you do that, you're also shaking us. And you're calling us to come to you, Lord, in this season, and to check our own hearts, and to run to you with everything, Lord, that's in us, and just put ourselves before you. Father, I do that. I want you to change me. I want you to continue transforming me and making me more and more like you. And I know so many of us do. So Father, I just ask that you would encounter us with your love, and that you would transform us into we were made in your likeness, and Father, that we would continue to grow in being like you. Because you're love, you're pure love. And Father, I thank you for Tim. Father, I thank you for his life. I thank you that he was born, and that you have him right now living, and that he has a purpose on his life. And Father, I just bless that. And Father, I also ask that you would speak to him and guide him and strengthen him in his purpose that he has in you. And that as you have him on this path, Lord, your word says a man's, this is one of my favorite verses, and I can't get it in my head right now. A man's heart plans his ways, but the Lord directs his steps. So Father, I thank you for Tim, and that he plans his ways, but as he's growing in you, and as he walks with you, that you're directing his steps. And I thank you for that, because your direction is always going to be your best for Tim. It's always going to be where he feels alive and strengthened. And I just bless him, and I bless him with life. And I thank you for today, the day that he was born, and that he's here today blessing us. And I thank you for him, Lord. So blessings to all of you, and may the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord cause his face to shine upon you and be gracious to you. May he turn his countenance towards you and your children and grandchildren and loved ones. And the name of Jesus Christ. And Father, I ask that you would bring your peace over all our homes right now, where we're sitting or standing or whatever we're doing at work. Just bring your peace and surround us with your peace. And I thank you that that gives us hope. In your precious name, amen.
Amen.
Amen. Tim, I was going to tell you a very lovely person we haven't seen in a while that may stop in later. I just invited her to come in and told her the good news that you and Kyle are doing Qschqql now here. AK Lover will come in soon. I invited her. She's just making dinner for her family. She told me to tell you happy birthday, that she loves you, and she will be in a little bit later.
are seeing this recording later, make sure you jump into Qschqql. We're still working on the Rumble and BitChute channel. I actually would like a little help with that. If anybody would like to volunteer, down the road, we would love to have maybe paid positions on all this stuff. And actually, I'm, paying some assistance on the side, but just got a lot on my plate. And and this next week, we're gonna have a lot more free time for myself. So it's gonna be awesome how we utilize that. But having, I'd like to, it should be pretty simple to upload all of our videos to Rumble and BitChute. We're going to do that in the near future. So, but assuming somebody's watching this video maybe later on, make sure you follow our main channel here, t.me/Qschqql with all Q's, 3 Q's in there. The O's are Q's, Qschqql. That's Tim's original channel there. And if you haven't yet, guys, you can click the group name there and click discuss. And that takes you to our chat thread. This is connected to the Qschqql. It's called Qschqql Diggers. That's t.me/Qschqql Diggers. But if you click that for the first time and you haven't, then at the bottom there should be a section where you can hit join. And you probably want to mute it. If you're new to Telegram, there's so many comments that come in. You don't want to have the, hearing the ding, 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 ding. That would go forever. But certainly save our group. You can also use folders. Okay, so folders I have, unread, political, researchers, okay, those are a good group. Kangen water, that's something we'll talk about in the future too. My channels, 140. So you can have these organized for yourself up here too. So I encourage you guys to make some folders. And I know Mermaid's better to explain this. We're going to have a digging school 101 this Saturday, earlier before Ladies Night. So keep an eye out. She'll hopefully teach a little bit about Telegram, where you can make some add folders. Right? Let's say somebody made a comment to me. I can click here and add to folder. Okay, you can do that with any person, and that might just keep things more organized. Let's say you got a couple groups that focus on Q, like us, and then you can have a Q group in your folders, and then that way you can still have everything muted, but boom, click over here. What's going on with my Q stuff? I got 17 messages, and then you can go through there. Just little hacks there, because Telegram is basically a massive flood of information, so you got to be able to filter through it. And of course, I've showed you this trick as well. If you click at the top of the group, here where the information is, okay, here's our information about the diggers, but then you click this media tab, and then you get a nice cross-section of the videos and or pictures people have shared, and you can kind of scroll quickly and see what catches your attention. Oh, obviously it's about truckers. Let's check that out. Watch, I'll just do it right here.
Shout out the trucker
looks like they're having a good time there. Honk, 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 honk. So definitely.
Honk, honk. We love our truckers, brother. We love our truckers.
Amen. So anyways, you can scan this stuff, see this. Again, I think this is all good stuff to share on your social medias, guys. I know maybe some people are nervous, like, oh, I don't want to upset somebody. Honestly, like at this point, it is what it is. And then I think you can grow as a person. Another Kelly had a great question, last night saying, it seems like they're programmed that if I even ask a question, I say this, they shame me, or they'll shame us. And think about that. It's still ultimately a projection. So the best thing you can do right now, guys, is there's so many infinite variables moving around in the outside world. Then why not control the one thing you can control is how you feel about it from within. Okay. And if they try to shame you, but you don't have any shame about yourself, there's nothing they can do. It won't matter. Just say, interesting reflection, because they're ultimately projecting their own inner shame on them. And if you're actually encountering that yourself, this is kind of like high spiritual psychology talk, but it is legitimate, and this is where we're learning. These are our lessons, things that trigger us, are our teachers, okay? So if you're encountering people that are shaming you, that means you have some repressed shame that you haven't dealt with yourself. So utilize these tools. Just like we know if the media is saying this guy's bad, he's probably good. If this guy's good, it's probably bad. Well, utilize that. If you have something popping up in your life where somebody's, calling you a liar a lot, are you lying somewhere else and you haven't dealt with it? These are similar topics. I can't think of great examples, but that's one. So anyways, just be mindful of that. Keep growing. Take care of from within, right? Ground yourself in the truth. Learn it more and more. Learn about who you are. Get connected. And yes, we love our friends and family. We want them all to wake up, but it's not our job. Okay, it's not really our job anymore, because each person, it's the law of free will. This is the ascension, or whatever events you want to call heaven on earth, or all kinds of different names, all saying the same thing, really. That it's about claiming our sovereignty and rising up. And, as much as we want our friends and family to get it, sometimes that soul has to be on a certain journey. So maybe they got to learn their lesson the hard way. They got to feel more pain before they finally surrender to God or their higher power and accept, okay, this is what's happening, and move forward. But anyways, take care of yourself from within is the best thing you can do. But let's get into Qschqql here. I've been looking at some of these memes. These are good. I've seen this one from a long time ago. And I see some interesting drops here. We got to get the deltas in. Thank you. Somebody shared this one again. Tim and I missed this one only because there were so many drops. I don't want to say only, but I want Tim and I to just really get better and better at doing the deltas. And we're going to try to be a day ahead. So even I want us to be looking at March 5th when we're on March 3rd, or, et cetera, et cetera. So there were so many deltas on March 3rd, we didn't get to this one. But look at on schedule. This was a Q post 2953 from March 3rd, 2019. So what we would call a 3-year delta. Now we're, 2 days past or whatever. But here's right from Fox News, because news unlocked the map. So the more Q posts you read, the more you're paying attention when a significant story comes out in the news. All forms of news, it says too. So Putin, special military operation is on schedule. I mean, could this be a more massive Q proof than that? And again, this was posted on March 3rd, so a total 3-year delta. I'm not sure what this Twitter link is. We still should look at that. But anyways, just says on schedule. And then look at special military operation. I mean, that's exactly what Q is. It's a special military operation. There's Q, the alliance, which is, special access programs of, Navy SEALs and all kinds of special operators. Remember your branch, Delta Force, dialed in with specific orders, doing their things, the alliance. But then Q, the public dissemination program known as Q, where we get the information. That's certainly a special military operation, one that's never been done before, literally asking the public to be involved in this World War III, spiritual war, information warfare, 5th generation unrestricted warfare, all assets deployed. This is where we're here for. So Tim and I are going to do our best to keep doing the deltas and letting you look ahead. I really think these deltas, especially coming down the pipe here, are going to have more and more meaning. So I want us to stay on top of this stuff because there's something big happening here. I need a few more Q pages. Again, thanks to Evervive. Check them out too. It's evervive.com. And in our Qschqql channel, the link's up there. Just scroll up a little ways, but you can go to Evervive yourself. But if you click this link right here, again, Pat's an amazing person on the back end of things. He's all got it set up. So if you click the link, your code should pop in already, but just use Qschqql. Either way, the regular spelling, the way I spell it, or the way Tim spells it with 3 Qs, either one will give you 10% off, and check their products out. But thanks again to Pat. And we'll be talking about that more, especially when we start having some people receiving their products, which I think are already about to be starting happening. We'll get a lot of testimonials as well too. As well as I know Pat and how thorough he is, I can't wait to hear how people are liking his products. Again, it's skin products with CBD base, but I showed you earlier, if you're on, about the mangosteen fruit, which is a super unique plant itself, natural anti-inflammatory, and a bunch of other amazing things. Check their site out, Evervive, as well. So anyways, QAG. Get back to QAG, QAGG.news. This is where we generally get our drops, do our research. This is what's called a third-party aggregate. They took all the drops that were on the original, the Chans, and put them in one location for us. So this is nice. There's also Q Alerts. QAnon.pub is also another place to get drops. I like to use this one. It's got a bunch of search features. You can use the deltas, all kinds of stuff like that. So we're going to keep looking at deltas ahead of time, and it already does it because it goes a couple days back. So it starts from March 2nd up to March 6th, I think, because I'm still in March 4th right now. When it goes to midnight, it's probably going to go one more day up for you guys. I'm still on Tim's birthday here, March 4th, 3-4. So anyways, these are the deltas. And I just clicked it. This was 3-year. You can do 2-year, 3-year, 4-year. And Tim's pretty good. He's been checking these for a while. But let's keep an eye out. And if you guys see any interesting ones coming up, because really, according to George News, which is a very interesting news publication in general for multiple reasons, they said the proofs are for now more than ever before. We certainly got plenty of proofs back in the day, and we're covering that on Qschqql. Q information is quantum, relevant to past, present, future. So we'll cover this drop like, okay, look at Q drop 2915 was a 0 delta with the president of the United States. Q dropped at 7:34 p.m. and 29 seconds. Donald Trump tweeted at 7:34 and 51 seconds. And those are ways that Q would validate themselves and I've already said this multiple times, but if anyone hasn't heard it, the brilliant Anons mapped out all these. This is slightly different. When we call this a zero delta, would be Q posts and less than a minute later Trump posts. That's a zero delta. If Q posts and 1 minute later Trump tweets, that's a 1 minute delta. Or 5 minutes later, 5 minute delta, 10, so on and so forth. Okay, but brilliant Anons mapped this thing out, and there is so much more zero deltas, far above a statistical probability to only be a coincidence. So actually so far out of the norm that it's 100% certainty that it is not a coincidence, and this is how they validate themselves. And it's also plausible deniability. Q post, Trump could tweet. What do you mean? I tweet all the time. I don't know about this QAnon thing is, like that video showed, right? And that's what plausible deniability is they validate themselves with us who are paying attention and can see behind the curtain, but they can also say plausible deniability, like, we don't know, we just posted, we have nothing to do with these people, what are you talking about? But then we clearly see that by using coincidences and plotting these things out and et cetera, et cetera. So hopefully I didn't overwhelm with too much of that information. I feel like I've been talking
I was gonna say, Kyle, if I'm brand new and I'm invited to Qschqql, okay, let's say I heard them, I watch CNN all the time, Kyle, and they talk about this QAnon, and you invited me to your channel. So here I am, and what the hell are you talking about? I don't know. What is Q?
Okay,
like, what is, I'm asking a question. I'm putting myself in the shoes of anybody right now watching this recording that we're doing here on March 4th of 2022. They're going to be asking the same question. So I think we should start right there. What is this Q stuff, Kyle? You're my buddy. I trust you. You're going to show me something here. What do we got?
All right. What do you think, Tim? 2788 or 4881? Which one do you feel? Which one first?
What's this? They're telling me there's QAnon. So why are they saying there's QAnon and this thing is saying there is no QAnon? How come it's saying that?
Boom, there we go. And D&D, I got your message, by the way, too. I'll shoot you an email later, buddy. Thank you for that also. Okay, so 4881, great post here. This is towards the end, or is the end the beginning? Okay, there is Q is one. There are Anons two. There is no QAnon actually. Okay, so we covered the Q information, which has been an anonymous person that started posting online, 4chan originally, then 8chan. These are free speech message boards, but they're also very anonymous and things like that. So this person claimed to be a high-level military insider, and people claim that kind of stuff online all the time. So what? Well, they kept sharing more and more information, and it got very, very interesting, and people started following it and connecting the dots, and very brilliant people were looking into this. So that is what Q is. It's a information dissemination program. I want you to think for yourself, but I'm just going to tell you flat out, it's a military information dissemination program for the public. Even just like what Trump said, we ran around the mainstream media like nobody has before. Okay, that's what this is a direct communication, because there's a military operation that's been going on for several years, longer than most realize, to uproot the evil from our earth. Okay, I know that's a big topic, and it's like, what are we talking about? But the more you understand it, it's maybe scary at first, it'll shock your foundation, but then it makes everything make sense, because people ultimately are good, okay, but there are evil people who've been in power, and they've gotten to high positions of power using blackmail and a bunch of other dirty tricks. Okay, now there's Anons, anonymous people, digital soldiers like us, who try to analyze and decode the Q information. But there is no QAnon. So why is there thousands of articles about QAnon and all this stuff? Well, that's what happens is media labeling as QAnon is a method, a deliberate one, to combine and attach Q to comments, theories, suggestions, statements, and actions made by Anons. Because here's the thing, we are anonymous. Some people might be more public and not necessarily technically anonymous anymore, but ultimately can be embedded people, infiltrators, okay? Infiltration is a big part of this whole thing, right? Not all Anons are authentic. They're injected. So we would call those shills or infiltrators. So people might pretend like they're an Anon and then do something stupid or et cetera. It's like, no one can control this. And I also say there's overzealous Anons. Maybe they have good intentions, but they get a little carried away on their decode and they make things sound silly. But there's over almost 5,000 Q posts, and not a single one of them calls for violence. So why is the mainstream media media making this QAnon thing so crazy. Why do they keep talking about that? Okay, well, it's because they're attacking. When you can't attack the message, you attack the messenger. And in this case, they can't even attack the messenger because no one actually knows who Q is. According to them, it's a military operation with less than 10 people have the full picture. 3 are non-military. Now, that's according to Q. Everybody always accepts that as fact. If we got to be critical thinkers, we might think that could be disinformation. So just adding that, but it's a special team of people. Yeah, buddy.
But I have a question. So I'm new to this, okay? So I've seen the QAnon, they don't say very nice things about you guys, Kyle. And I've also watched a couple of videos that you sent me that show a bunch of happy, obviously they look like they're happy. They got Trump flags and that, and they got these signs that say hashtag QAnon on them. So is the media, like, if Q is saying there's Q and then there's Anons, but there's no QAnon, how come those people that I saw in the video have QAnon signs? Are they infiltrators or they just don't know this yet?
Okay, yeah, great question. So I still thank you for that. I never kind of thought about even that too. So let's say when this movement started growing, and QAnon would still come from, let's say, the person posting as Q. You could also call him, it's that he's still an Anon, so it's QAnon. That's where that came from. But we still would always reference whoever this entity is as Q. And then QAnon really became representing the movement. So in the beginning, certainly we would just hashtag QAnon. I mean, that wind up trending. 17 on Twitter, by the way. So I'm not sure where to add to that other than, people, started supporting it. And this is the thing, too, is this information is very difficult to understand. There's a big learning curve to it. That's why we're doing what we do here at Qschqql, to start teaching you how to understand, how to read these posts, because it is certainly cryptic. And there's a lot of reasons for that. Not to get into it too much, but it's the movement, I guess you could call the movement is QAnon, but there isn't, but people that know, like us that read the drops, know that, there isn't really a thing as QAnon, but certainly people were using hashtag QAnon. And what happened is a lot of people, their gut just could feel, truth in your gut, right? They know that something big is happening. They can feel it. They're hopeful, there's good guys that are working behind the scenes. So people would be supportive of it. But either way, the biggest thing is where we go one, we go all. We're about uniting. Look at right here. Do not fear. Stand united and strong. Where we go one, we go all. Now, this is an anonymous person sharing that, but Q has said that kind of stuff over and over, right? Stay united. United we're strong. Together we're strong. Divided we are weak. So how can I answer that better question, Tim, or can you answer it yourself better for me? I mean, can you help me out on that one?
Yeah, well, I'm thinking, because I'm watching the CNN. I'm like, don't forget, I'm acting here, okay, guys? Just so you know me, I'm Tim 17. I am a digital soldier that's 117% into this information. It's changed my life. But anyway, I'm going to do some acting here, just in case somebody new's watching this video down in the near future, or maybe 4, 5, 6 months down the road before the midterms. This is important to know, because the media, I'm noticing, Kyle, because I love CNN. I just love watching those guys. They give me all my news. I get home from work, I'm tired, I grab a cold beer, light a smoke, and they tell me what's going on in the world. And every time I turn on CNN, they're talking about you guys, and I know that you've been queuing on for a while, Kyle. So like, all of a sudden now, like I'm on your show, and I want to know, like, are you a QAnon or are you a Q? Like, who's Q?
Okay, yeah, great. Yes,
help me out, brother.
Yeah, and I like Jordan Sather's reply to this on too. It's not so much about who is Q as what is Q. And that's why, again, Q is a military information dissemination program. So basically the military is in a large battle, and some shocking truths are going to play out. But the evil is embedded so far in the media, in Hollywood, everywhere else, that is important to share this information directly to the public, to ready for, understand what's happening here. And it's a threat to them. There's these people in power are connected. That's why, 90% of the media, or even more now, is owned by only 6 corporations, Disney, Viacom, all these sort of corporations. So it's a threat to them, and they're in control of media. So as you can see all these stories, none of them are true, and it's all the same thing, conspiracy theory, or they like to say right wing too. So I want to add that. Even the very first post here, the first 3 of the first 4 posts. Okay, we go right to Q post number 2. It says this is not, okay, they never believed for a moment Democrats and Republicans would lose control, okay, because it's not a left versus right thing. And I've said this before, is really Donald Trump was the first third party president to win. Now, yes, he ran under the GOP because our system created that no third party could ever really win if they're running independently. Ross Perot would have been the best shot at that, and really he wasn't that close ultimately. So it had to be this way. But it's not an R versus D battle. So this is right from the beginning. That's second post. Third post says the same thing. Not about Republicans versus Democrats at this stage. Okay, and then one more, boom, Q post 4. So 2, 3, 4, the very first post, they all just say this. Okay, this was a hostile takeover from an evil, corrupt network of players, not just Democrats. So this is what the media does. They try to label everything. They want us all, they say we're all united. Someone even, I think it was Kelly was saying, another Kelly was saying, it's almost like they, blend everyone together, but then they'd still divide us by every division tactic you can think of, divided by race, divided by religion, et cetera, et cetera. But it's not about this. This is about unity. Again, almost 5,000 posts, not a single post calls for violence. Yet the media has spent all this time and effort. I mean, look at this. This is just one sample from all the way back in May of 2018. All these stories, look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Every one of these, it has to do with some kind of attack on whatever this QAnon is. There it is, conspiracy theory that says Trump is a genius, and they'll make it sound like that to try to shame and ridicule people. But where is the media getting this from? If we read the drops, and all it does is asking questions. So that's going to get us back to this original one, which moves over to 2788. The other great post here about Q is this is my favorite post. So I'm going to let Tim share one more thing, and then I'm just going to read this post to really let you understand what is Q.
Okay, yeah, because I'm really, you're my buddy, and I'm really concerned because my favorite news channel is telling me that you're dangerous. Like I'm worried about you, buddy. But I'm here on your channel now, and I'm going to keep an open mind here. But I'm concerned that you're a QAnon, buddy. And should I fear you or what?
Okay. Thank you, Tim, for your concern. I really appreciate it, buddy. But yes, really at the core of what we are too, we're not in a cult. We don't have groupthink. We are critical thinkers that analyze and decode this incredible gift to humanity known as the Q information. We would be called anons, okay? We're anonymous digital soldiers just trying to make heads and tails of this information. And in the process of that, they've proven themselves over and over. They've clearly had knowledge before anybody else did on very high level things, such as, knowing Kevin Kleinsmith is going to get indicted, Michael Sussman, everything they've talked about over the course of 3 years from 2017 to 2020 continues to play out before us today. They've clearly done that. But as you can see, it's a threat to them, those in power, and media is one of their main assets for that. So the media labeling as QAnon is a method deliberate to combine, attach Q to comments, theories, suggestions, actions made by the anons. Like I said, because once you can't attack the message, you have to attack the messenger. But in this case, they can't even attack the messenger because nobody knows who Q is. That just gives it more validity. So they create this thing called QAnon. All right. What happens when you cannot attack the information? Primary source 1. The information is Q. Q is an information dissemination program. Do you attack and typecast through use of others? Right. Just like what we mentioned, not all anons are authentic. Okay. Now, in a summary, though, this is the best post. It really explains everything about Q and everything involved with the narrative. So let me just read it and just think about it, be critical thinkers, and analyze it here. 2788. How can an entity known only as Q, faceless, nameless, fameless, etc. Again, they post anonymously on the board. They've created this massive movement. They're not making money off it. They're not seeking fame. They're not doing anything other than asking questions. Why would they even do that? What's the intention? Okay. How can an entity, faceless, nameless, etc., begin to ask questions on 4chan, now 8chan, now 8kun, which is backed up by the Department of Defense IP address, by the way. Interesting. And build something of this magnitude? How can the same Q entity garner such a massive amount of worldwide mainstream media, fake news, attention, and attacks? And I'll show you that right here. This is from May 14, 2018. You can click all of these, okay? Every single one. Boom. The storm is the new Pizzagate, only worse. That's December of 2017. Where's the other article I just clicked? April 8th, 2018. Okay, this is way back in May, and all these are stories of independent, okay? Here we go. Conspiracy theory claims Trump is white. I got to pause in there, Tim. I don't know if you're watching. You see, that was the drop from the, what's that Delta we did? That's crazy. Oh my gosh. Why are they spending so much time and resources if this is just some kind of conspiracy theory, right? Or if there's some person in their basement? What's the deal? Why is there so many attacks? What is going on here? Why would they spend that much money and time and resources if it was really this threat? You know, coordinated, all for a LARP, a live action role player, like claiming some kids in his basement just playing with people. Why would they expend all this ammunition? If it's just some stupid conspiracy theory, why do they care so much about it? Okay. Ask yourself why. All right, let me get back to the drop here, 2788.
Yeah, so like even tonight earlier when I got home from work, Kyle, CNN was blasting about you guys, you QAnoners. So, I mean, I'm worried about you. But, yeah, this is kind of making sense. So, yeah, tell me more. Bud.
And how about that, too? So let's go to just show the board one more time. The very last drop, as far as, we know with this Q information, the very last one, 4,953, although I'd argue there's one more in May, but we'll leave it at that, was in December 8th of 2020.
Month early.
So this Q thing, whatever, and how about that? Did they ever actually go to the actual drops in the Q information? They're never talking about the drops, the information. Okay, why are they talking about this? What is this? And nothing can stop what is coming. INSWIC. Wait a minute. There's a government agency whose job is to protect our elections, and their acronym is the same thing: National Council of Statewide Interoperability Coordinators. A whole mouthful to get INSWIC. How did that happen? What is happening here? Okay, so why don't they ever talk about this? But what I'm getting at is, look at the last drop is December of 2020. So what are we in now, Tim? March of 2022. So 2 full years now, is that right? 2 full years? No, I guess one year and some change. And they've almost a quarter, almost a year and a half. Q hasn't posted a single thing, but the media keeps talking about it. What's the deal? Again, I'll give you $10,000 if you can find one post in these 4,954 that calls for violence. So what's happening here? Why is this so dangerous? Let me go back to the post and keep reading then. Okay, how is it possible this Q entity can forecast future events or know when the POTUS is about to tweet? Now, we were kind of covering that in the beginning here with the deltas, which I got a little too carried away with, but we saw this just the other day, or we shared it on our other recording. Man, where'd it go? Up here, I got too many tabs open. Sorry, guys. I must have closed it out. But either way, the zero delta, oh my gosh. Hang on one second. Let me bring it back up. 3-year deltas. All right, right here. Okay, so we just showed this. It happened over and over and over again. While Donald Trump is the president of the United States, Q would make a post, and then all of a sudden the president would tweet. Okay, that's what this is referencing here when it says how would they know when the POTUS is about to tweet? And it's been verified, mathematically impossible to beat a coincidence. They're like the number of zero deltas, the number of times that Q posted, zero in less than a minute later, usually 10 seconds later, Donald Trump would tweet. How would that be possible unless there's some sort of coordination? Okay, how is it possible? Future proofs past. Again, everything they talk about winds up coming to fruition. The media is going to say that none of their things are correct, but if you watch the show, you'll see it. It happens over and over and over and over again. How about we just had that one? If that was on the recording already from the Qschqql diggers. Let me go there real quick. The image with Putin. Well, it's not so much about Putin. It's on Fox News. Okay, right here. This is showing a Q drop from March 3rd, 2019. There's a Twitter link shared in it, and then Q just says on the schedule. Okay, in that Q. Okay, now 3 years to the day on March 3rd, Putin says this is a special military operation and it's on schedule. Okay, and the Q claims to be a military insider. The whole thing is a military operation. How are they able to predict something like that? How could that be? Okay, that's what this is asking here. Let me keep going, finish what this says here. Okay, how is it possible future proves past? Regarding information provided, everything they've talked about. They talked about Jeffrey Epstein before anybody knew who he was. Talked about Ghislaine Maxwell. Now these people have been convicted of the crimes even. How is it possible this Q entity, an entity who began by merely asking questions on 4chan, 8chan, was able to ... fill in the blank? Think logically. People are craving truth. People are craving transparency, right? Aren't we sick of all the bullshit, all the lies? Tell us what's going on here, okay? This is what Q does. People are craving equal justice under the law. I showed you those first posts, right? It's not about Republican versus Democrat. People are craving good. People are craving right, okay? Humanity is good. We've been usurped. We've been brainwashed. We've been programmed by the man behind the curtain, these evil cabal network of players who've really been in control. And that's what this is exposing all of that. People are craving true freedom, right? That's all we want. Freedom, safety, and security, right? We want to make sure our children are safe. We're safe. Everybody wants the same thing. Okay, we're good people. They've been playing on that and preying on us because they know that we care about our fellow man and woman. They use that with the media by getting into our emotions. People are craving ... fill in the blank. Proofs negate falsehoods, conspiracy attacks. We show these all the time on the show. Just keep watching. We'll show you the proofs, okay? Those who attack have an agenda or remain plugged into the biggest disinformation campaign to be ever witnessed, okay? So anybody that's attacking, you'll see that they have an agenda, and that's the media, okay? That's all these articles. They actually have an agenda, or somebody's just plugged into the biggest disinformation campaign, which is the media. So if somebody attacks QAnon or Q or whatever you want to call it, and they've never even read a Q drop, well, that's because they're tapped into this disinformation campaign and they're believing these people, thinking that they're telling them the truth. Ask yourself, why are liberals, now again, it's not about left versus right, they're just highlighting something here. Why are liberals always angry? Why do they curse? Why do they slander, push fake labels, racist, sexist, and every other ist under the sun? Why do they create emotional outbursts when challenged? Why are they violent? Why do they form mobs, packs, okay? You've seen it happen. You guys have seen it happen, everyone. Be honest. Why are they incapable of listening to the other side? Fascists, right? Think about all the censorship or Antifa is threatening people to even have their voice heard, okay? That's fascists. That's what a fascist is, yet they project and do that themselves. When you don't have facts to support your argument, present logical reasoning, you must resort to the above tactics. This narrative has been going on for a long time, and people believe things without actually even having evidence of it. People that say Putin, Donald Trump is Putin's president or puppet. Please give me one example of how that makes sense. By the way, if anybody's confused, Donald Trump is the first president in 50 plus years to not have the United States engage in a new war or conflict. By the way, Donald Trump is the only president in the 21st century that Russia did not invade another country on. How could he be his puppet then? Why wouldn't, if he was Putin's puppet, wouldn't Putin be invading all these other places right now and having the U.S. have his back? Or now what are you going to say that, oh, well, he's doing that so it's not obvious. So what are you saying? He's an evil genius? I thought you called him an idiot. Which is it? Or do you not have any actually logical reasoning for what you believe? The narrative is designed to keep people in a constant state of fear. Okay? Everyone feared COVID for 2 years. That's nonstop the media talked about. Where did COVID go? Did this war in Ukraine end it? I guess it did. Thereby forcing anger, rage, violence. Emotionally unstable people are easier to control. They want you divided by race, divided by class, divided by religion, divided by political affiliation, divided as human beings. You guys have seen it. That's all it is. Divide us, divide us. They say they want us to be united, but then they find every ism under the sun to divide us. Because divided, you are weak. Together, you are strong. This is what it is empowering us. Does this message sound like something that's dangerous or bad? Together, you are strong. When you're strong, you think for yourself. When you're strong, you challenge what you are told to believe. When you are strong, you are awake. When you are strong, you are no longer controlled. When you have accountability for your own health and responsibility for your own health, you're also very not easy to control, okay? You don't have to, rely on the government for your health or take a pill. This is about trusting yourself. Trust that you are not alone. That's the beauty of this is we get to understand that we're not alone, okay? Trust that there are good people right beside you fighting for what we know to be right. And that's like Tim said, we're really ultimately here for you, for all of us. We really fighting for you, even if you don't understand that. God bless you all. Where we go one, we go all. Q. So does that sound like something that's very bad or dangerous to you, Tim? I don't know.
Wow, I'm glad you shared that with me, Kyle. I feel a lot better now. So should I keep watching CNN, brother, or what? Or should I just, can I get a membership card with you guys? How does this work?
That's free to join, brother. All it is, it takes an open mind, be a critical thinker. And because when you think for yourself, you can no longer be controlled. All right. That's what it's all about. Think for yourself. And that's ultimately what might be a little bit different, new to you. Instead of being told what to think, you got to make your own decision. And we're going to have some more of that, certainly with Snowden here tonight. So, all right. So how much more you want to go on to that one, Tim?
That's great, and I'll drop the acting right now. But it's just I was just going to say at the end, man, Kyle, thanks for showing me this. I guess I have been lied to, and I'll take a chance, and I'll believe in you that you'll guide me here and show me the way. And as a matter of fact, I was on your channel earlier, and I couldn't believe how much fun all your friends here were having. I mean, they were laughing, giggling, sharing great stories, telling us where they're from. You got people from all over the world in here, Kyle, and they even prayed. I couldn't believe it. So this is a lot different than watching CNN. So thanks for inviting me tonight.
You betcha, brother. Thank you. And Dustin's sharing some interesting proofs too. Check this one out, guys, too. Way back on was it April of 2018? Someone said Tippy Top, or I guess that's when it actually happened. But months prior, somebody said, hey, can you work Tippy Top into the State of the Union? So that was probably about February 2018. But later on Easter in 2018, Donald Trump says, we keep the White House in tippy top shape. These are just one of many what we would call Q proofs. Check them out yourself, learn it. But we're going to show you that on Qschqql as well, too. So let's see here. What do we want to add? I thought, Dustin, did you have something else that you were trying to share with me? I got the thing on my phone. Something about somebody was asking. Maybe not.
Okay, let's hit those deltas, buddy.
All right.
Let's do those deltas.
Let me actually show
you did, Kyle. You did a great job. I mean, when we share this recording after we're done, and the people that are just learning alongside of us can feel confident that they could share this with somebody, that they work with, or a family member that's still kind of watching CNN. So that's why I acted the way I did, and I think this will help a lot of people. I'm happy that you explained it that way, Cal.
Yeah, and I just want to even show this. We were talking about. Let me just put this. There's so much information in here, guys. So look at there's Q posts. Should the lights go out, please know we are in control. There's posts like that. There's mentions of blackout. And here's an example: is like what if there's something bigger happening you don't understand? Again, I don't know what you feel about Donald Trump, but you think he is stupid. What if there was something more going on and you weren't aware yet? So just watch this interview with the press, and I just shared again a Q post, that says should the lights go out, please know we are in control. Now, this Q person claims to be a military intelligence insider. Okay, so just keep that in mind, and look at this so-called random incident where Trump is having an interview with a press conference with the media, and let's see what happens here, Tim.
Let me begin by saying that once again, the full faith and support for America's intelligence agencies. I have a full faith in our intelligence agencies. Whoops, they just turned off the light. That must be the intelligence agencies.
That must be the intelligence agencies.
There it goes.
What a weird thing to say. You think that's an accident?
Good.
The lights just turned off right there.
But that's okay.
Maybe something else is going on here, okay? And that's what we're here to teach you, that there's much more going on than meets the eye. And
so go back to that drop then that relates to this one. Show everybody that Q drop again. You're going a little bit quick. Yeah, right there. So should the lights go out, and the date, does the date coordinate with when the lights went out in the White House?
Oh, I missed that one. I didn't see the date. I think no, I don't think on this one, but that's why you read the drops. But can somebody read this one? I'll take a quick little breather. Somebody want to read this post paper?
Yeah, I'll go for it, buddy. Yeah, make it a little bit bigger on the screen, please. Just a little bit.
So needy, Tim. I'm telling you. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, oh, by the way, guys, I meant to say this sooner. If you're on a cell phone or iPad, turn your iPad or cell phone sideways. That'll give you the best view because I'm sharing my screen from the laptop. So turn it sideways, and you can also pinch and zoom when you're on your phone too. So yeah, that's the best way to kind of view all this. Let me get it big for Tim.
Actually, while Mermaid's here, I'm going to bring Mermaid on. I didn't know she was in there. I just hear she popped in. Maybe Mermaid, would you like to read it there? You got a better voice than me.
I'll do it. I'm upstairs getting ready, and just leave it like that so I can pinch it. Almost getting ready for bed because it's I've been up since 3, but I would love to read this. I just want to stop in and see what you guys were doing, and lovely to hear this. So yeah, I'm ready to go if you'd like. So fellow patriots, I'm being advised actions have created accelerated counteractions. We have not yet ascertained the scope of the attack. Watch the news outlets. POTUS Twitter takedown was not by accident, as referenced several hours ago. Should the lights go out, please know we are in control. Do not panic. We are prepared and assets are in place. God bless. I must go for good at this point. Q.
That's an interesting. I must go for good at this point. I'd like to hear what Kyle has. I know he had to step out for a second, so that makes you think. That really does make you expand your thinking. I'm wondering if that was when he did that at Whirlpool. He had a little press briefing at Whirlpool, and he was talking about Big Pharma or the middleman, and he said they don't like him very much or something like that, and that he had to go.
That video.
Is that the one he had to go for a while? Okay.
Can somebody get that video? I believe it's August of 2020. August, yeah, I'm quite sure it's August of 2020, where he's speaking, and there's the laundry boxes behind him, the Whirlpool laundry, and it looks like, what's it say in Spanish, Mermaid? Do you remember? It just say washing machine, and there's talking about, I got to go away for a while. If someone can find that, that'd be a great one to add one more thing to that as well. If we can get that one in here. And this is another thing too, guys. We are digital soldiers. We dig, we hunt for the truth, okay? We don't just sit there and wait for to be told. We don't believe everything we hear. We fact check everything ourselves, and we dig on it. So you're going to see that from the show here. I'm going to ask for things from time to time, and someone right in our chat's going to share it in a short amount of time usually. So that one might take just a second to get. But again, that's a speech, I believe, in September-ish. Possibly what's before August, July. I don't think it was that early. August, I'm quite certain, August, September of 2020, where Trump said I might have to go away for a little while. And I speaking at, like Tim said, was it Whirlpool? Whatever it was.
I think it was Whirlpool.
Like that's the name of the place, or he was like, or that's the name of the.
No, he was at the Whirlpool manufacturing plant or something.
Oh, okay.
So if you search Whirlpool.
All right, so let's keep moving. But this is what it's all about. Should the lights go out, know that we are in control. Let's see, somebody drop something. Somebody get it? What you got there, Dustin? Let's see what Dustin found for us.
I think I found.
Oh, boom, look at that. Nice work, Dustin. But yeah, whatever you got there, Mermaid, hang on to that here. So this is what we're talking about, guys, and this is our different skill sets. We have amazing digital soldiers. Shout out to Dustin, Golden Digger Award, and of course Mermaid too. You got all that stuff on. My skill set is I have a good memory. I can remember the dates of things and times and numbers. Let's see when this actual date was. Did you get the date on this one? August 6th. There it is. What I say, August 2020. Okay, it was actually closer to July, I thought then. But let's hear about this speech and think again. Maybe what if there's something more happening here, and they're telling us, in coded language, what's happening. And one of these coded languages is the use of 17, because Q, remember we have Q, the information, is the 17th letter of the alphabet. Can somebody also share the pictures with Donald Trump getting the jersey 17, the Alabama one, and I think there one's the Astros. And also maybe the meme too, share where it shows the other presidents getting their normal numbers like 42, 43, 44, and then all of a sudden Donald Trump gets number 17, and maybe that audio clip of him saying 17 10 billion times. But let's listen to this one and hear what he has to say here. I got to turn that up. Hang on. I'm talking about Canada, Tim. Interesting.
Industry defends American industry by reimposing aluminum tariffs on Canada. Canada was taking advantage of us, as usual. And I signed it, and it imposes because the aluminum business was being decimated by Canada. Very unfair to our jobs and our great aluminum workers. 7 months ago, my administration agreed to lift those tariffs in return for a promise from the Canadian government that its aluminum industry would not flood our country with exports and kill all our aluminum jobs, which is exactly what they did. Canadian aluminum producers have broken that commitment, and the U.S. Trade Representative Robert Lighthizer has advised me that this step to reimpose tariffs is absolutely necessary to defend our aluminum industry. To be a strong nation, America must be a manufacturing nation and not be led by a bunch of fools. That means protecting our national industrial base. We have to protect our great companies and our great workers. My sixth and final promise today is to forever uphold the commitment I made from the beginning. I will always put American workers first, always. They'll always be put first.
And that's exactly what he did. He always made things that would help Americans. Again, it's a joke to think that he's a puppet of Putin when he actually ended the pipeline from Russia and had it moved to America so that we would be the main producer of oil in the world. And actually, under his watch, they had overtaken, I think, most of these countries, actually all the countries. While before he left office, the United States became the #1 producer of oil in the world. We got Texas, Alaska, all these great states producing plenty of oil. And of course, one thing, not to get in the left versus right, but the very day Joe Biden took office, he signed that to cancel the Keystone pipeline. And guess who we're getting oil from? Russia. Now we're saying, oh, maybe we can get it from Iran because we're relying on other people. Donald Trump put America first in every single policy, and that's just what it is. You know what I mean? Like, watch for yourself, ask the questions, stop being told what to think, and be a critical thinker. Now, why I was saying 17 is these boxes up here. There winds up being 17 of those boxes during the speech. Interesting number to have there. Let me see what else you guys dug up. I know there's a couple different, somebody shared the link on that. I'm going to click these to see if we can see the boxes better, the behind him. Again, don't take our word for it. Let's see if we get a farther view where it shows, yeah, Trump, I have a lot of rich enemies. You won't see me for a while. Think about that too, future proofs past. We were thinking he was going to be gone then. We don't know what happened to him. But no, he's gone now, right? He's gone now. You won't see me for a while. So was he telling us that then? I don't know. Let's see if we can get this. No, I don't know what this is. All right. So either way, if you get a chance, there's the 17 boxes behind them. This is how they communicate with us. Thank you guys on the diggers end, the different things you guys found. If we can get a screenshot of the and help out, guys, if you just listen. I mean, I know we want you to listen, enjoy the show, but if you guys, learn to be diggers and start digging things up. There's the images of, again, Donald Trump getting the jersey with the 17 on it. I feel like somebody's even shared that recently. Let me look here. So presidents, when somebody wins the Super Bowl or the national championship for college football or World Series, they come and visit the president, and they always give him a jersey, but it's their number. There's a great visual representation where, Bill Clinton is getting 42, George W. Bush is getting 43, Obama's getting 44, but Donald Trump got the jersey number 17. What's up with that? So there's plenty of that stuff. Just pay attention. Just watch what we're doing here, and it'll start to make more sense. Okay, Tim, let's get us on track. What are we going to do here? We're going to go to the Q post now?
Yeah, we're going to go to the deltas, the 4-year deltas for March 4th. That's where we left off in part 1. So you'll see my beautiful coffee mug there with the Q on it coming up there. March 4th.
We still got to get that. That's from that National Geographic episode. I want to get that actual clip where we can show that happening. That would be super cool because that's especially Tim's birthday. And the quantum information, we're going to quit jumping on the stuff of explaining Q. You better know it by now. And if you don't, just watch it. Just watch what happens, guys. And keep an open mind. We're about to be doing some awesome stuff here. So I feel like I had to dumb myself down for that whole part, but it's good, though. It's good to do that every now and then. We got new eyes here, and I appreciate you taking the time to do that there, Tim. Let's see what this Q proof is. One more proof here. So this was posted back on September 15, 2018. Week of D-class coming, more incriminating text release coming, dark to light carpet bombs, and then boom, 2 days later, September 17th, interesting date, statement from the press secretary
indicted
at the
September
request of a number of
17th,
committees, Congress, for
bitches.
reasons of transparency. Remember, people are craving truth and transparency. The president has directed the Office of the Director of National Intelligence, that's the ODNI, and the Department of Justice, DOJ, including the FBI, to provide for the immediate declassification of the following materials: X amount of pages from FISA applications, Carter Page, okay, that's a big part of this whole thing, Spygate, all FBI reports interviews with Bruce Orr and his wife Nellie Orr, who worked for the CIA, and Bruce Orr was a high senior executive level person at the FBI. How does the certain intelligence branches attach themselves to each other? Follow the wives, follow the husbands. Okay, or prepared in connection with the Russian investigation. And 3, all FBI reports of interviews prepared in connection with all Carter Page FISA. In addition, President Donald J. Trump has directed the Department of Justice, including the FBI, to publicly release all text messages relating to the Russia investigation without redaction of James Comey, JC in the tweets, Andrew McCabe, AM or number 2 in the Q post, Peter Strzok, PS, Lisa Page, LP, or Bruce Orr, one of the BOs, in addition to board owner and Barack Obama. Okay, but right here, there it was again in 2 days before. And look, it even said September 17th, week of. This was posted September 15th, 2018. Q post 21793 says, D-class coming, more incriminating texts, releases coming, dark to light. And look at literally the week of, starting on September 17th, there it is. We get immediate declassification and talking about publicly releasing all texts. Boom. Okay, just like that post we shared in the beginning. Do I still have that one up, the 2788? Yeah, bring it up one more time. Sorry, guys. Okay, right here. How is it possible Q can forecast future events or know when the POTUS is about to tweet? Okay, we're seeing that right there. How did they know? How did they possibly know when that was supposed to be coming? I keep getting lost in my tab. Sorry, guys. There we go. Did I just cover that last one up? Killing myself. I'm killing myself here.
Yeah. You got to take your motion sickness medication before coming to useful sometimes, folks. Just a fair warning.
Yeah. So anyways, this Q proof here was shared. So I guess I still had it. But again, this is a post, just in one example, one of many. September 15th, they say week of, D-class coming, more incriminating text. And then the Anons put it all together. Sure enough, September 17th, here comes the information that we're going to D-class. They've called for that, and they're going to release all the text messages. One of hundreds of massive, easily confirmable Q proofs. So why does the media say they've never gotten anything right before? What are they talking about? That's because they don't want you to know this information. It's dangerous, but they don't say who it's dangerous to. It's dangerous to them.
Say it's dangerous for our democracy. How many times have you said that?
I like that. Oh, there it is. I figured. Okay, so either way. All right, so let's go to the delta. So what we're going to do, what's called, as I was mentioning earlier, what would be called a zero delta, where Q posts and then Donald Trump tweets. By the way, all the zero deltas are always Q first and then Donald Trump, not the other way around. It'd be very easy to have some sort of app set up where as soon as Donald Trump tweeted, you had a post already ready to go, and it would be automatically posted to the chans, okay? So it could be 10 seconds after his tweet, I'm sure. But no, it's the other way around. It's Q posting and then the president of the United States. So clear, obvious connection with the president. And then I'm sure you've seen some of their videos we played earlier when they ask him, are you okay with QAnon and da-da-da? And he kind of, plausible deniability. I don't know what QAnon is, right? Because QAnon isn't a thing. It's created by the media, okay? All right, so now what we're going to be doing is what we would call the 2, 3, 4 year deltas, okay? So we're going to cover posts from today's date. So now we're coming up on, in Alaska time, we're almost done with March 4th, 2022. We're coming up into March 5th. So we were covering these just from a few days ago, just as an example. There's some really good ones we had. Again, we got a 0 delta that we got on our recording for the first time. That was awesome. But we're going to keep going down because we got caught up. We did all of March 2nd. We did all of March 3rd. I mean, again, this is actually 3-year delta. There are 2 and 4-year deltas, but sticking on the 3 years, is this where we are supposed to be, or are we supposed to be on 4-year, Tim?
The 4-year deltas for today's date, because there's 15 3-year deltas and only 9 4-year deltas. So we covered a couple already.
Okay, so thanks for that tidbit. So this is, again, example. We covered 4-year deltas. We just did these yesterday or the day before. It's all a blur anyways. But these deltas were very, very powerful. You know, misspellings matter. Okay, what I say, a class action? No, what is a class action lawsuit? Cut out the AY. Why do they do this? Well, we're trying to figure that out, and I think we did a pretty good job of explaining some of that in that recording. Okay, then Snowden's starting to pop up. Okay, why is ES? Who's ES? We know it's Eric Schmidt, but it could also be Edward Snowden. Leave G. I don't know if we ever got an answer for what G is. Maybe government. I don't know. Anybody has an answer there. But always think of multiple meanings, okay? And that's one other thing is you learn the Q drops. These abbreviations, there's kind of 3 main reasons they do this. One, as Q says, it helps them avoid censorship, right? Like some sort of program running looking for some kind of a name like Hillary Clinton. Instead, it's HRC, or instead of Clinton Foundation, it's CF. So that's one way to avoid censorship. Think about how you can use that as well, right? Instead of writing COVID-19, you can put CV, right? Or CV-19, and people would understand that. Other things of that nature, the other big ones are this military operation and this Q information is quantum, relevant to past, present, and future. So we'll be talking about a drop from 4 years ago, but how many times is it totally relevant to exactly what we're talking about right now? All right, and then so these can have multiple meanings, okay? Maybe one way to read this post, it is Eric Schmidt, but maybe it also means Edward Snowden at the same time, or maybe it means it at a later time, okay? That's a totally possible. And then the third one, just as important, is it makes you research, okay? You got to think for yourself. You got to dig for the answers, okay? We are relentless truth seekers here. We don't just get the answer handed to us. We go look for it. And that teaches you to be a critical thinker. You do other research. You find things you maybe didn't know about, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So even if we give you some of these answers on Qschqql, I highly encourage to always be thinking of a possible third answer or one we haven't thought about yet, because there's definitely some out there still for sure. So let me scroll down to get us caught up where we were. So we did all the March 3rd yesterday, and then still today, in my opinion, is March 4th. So we ended on this Snowden post. I did cover that one. We read it at the end of the last recording. Thanks for hanging out with us, part 2. Of course, this amazing graphic and the beautiful synchronicities. I got to show that one more time here. Here's the graphic, Tim. All right, so we got white hat in here, which is, I guess I'm white hat. Have you not discovered the confirmed correlation between posts here and tweets? So we covered the 0 delta, but let me think of all the awesome things in this one. This is on Tim's birthday. Where's the day of this post? March 4th. By the way, Tim is intimately connected to the number 17 in Q. Is his birthday March 4th, 64. 3 plus 4 plus 6 plus 4 equals 17. Okay, and his son's birthday adds up to 17 as well, too. What a beautiful synchronicity. Now, this graphic put together on Tim's birthday, and we didn't, know that was going to happen. Make sure you have your drops in New York Eastern Time Zone. This drop is also on here. And during Tim and I's journey of doing this Qschqql and keeping it running, I created a channel called Qschqql Mirror so that we could start doing the drops from the end and work to the beginning, or beginning in the end, whichever way you want to look at it. And while I set that channel up, I, of course, made some graphics and images. And one of the main images I decided to choose, so we got JFK, okay, on the boat there. He's got Where We Go One. And this is the only drop I share in the images is, look at this, January 13th, 2018. Not everything will be clean. Scare necessary event. Y'all can check it out. That's the Qschqql archive now. Qschqql, all Q's in there. QSCHQQL on Telegram, but then do archive. So Telegram short is t.me, but Telegram Qschqql archive is the Qschqql mirror. So you can see I still have the original profile images up. Again, this is key drop, the original 521, January 13th. And then long before I knew it was Tim's birthday Delta whole thing, and then we covered that yesterday on Qschqql. So pretty cool to rewatch this stuff. It's just incredible. So anyways, back to the show, y'all. Love, love, love. Is that COVID? Is that the war? I don't know why this thing changes on me. It drives me nuts. Is that the war? Do you trust the U.S. military? Do you trust the chain of command? Why does it do this? Sorry, guys. I don't know why it like goes away. I want it to be right there. Hey, kitty. Have faith. We are in control. You were chosen for a reason. Okay. That's the one post I shared on my group. And then here we are on this, what is it now? 4-year Delta on Tim's birthday. We got White Hat in here. I happen to this post is in the image. I mean, how crazy is that? And then of course, then the Department of Defense tweeted out a 30-second little trailer for the show on National Geographic. And on the show, I believe it's fairly early on in the show, there's a Q mug on there, okay? This is how they confirm things. It's using a roundabout way because they're also even doing this in a very specific way, not to skirt national security laws and rules and doing everything by the book. But if you are smart enough and can connect enough dots, you will get the inside information. And then one last tidbit about this. We ran long on our original first Qschqql tonight, and having snowed and I had to run to an obligation. I said, let's do a second one. And the time I knew that I would be back would be about midnight Eastern time. So I was like, all right, well, we always do that. I'm going to need 17 more minutes after that anyways, just because I'm always a little running behind anyways. And lo and behold, look at what time this freaking Q post happened at. Boom. 17 minutes into March 4th, and we were going to plan on doing
that flipped me right out when that happened in the early. That recording, by the way, is in Qschqql, so you can pluck it out anytime and watch it and share it if you missed the earlier show, part one of these 4-year deltas for March 4th. Yeah, unbelievable, Kyle. Unbelievable coincidence. Is it a coincidence, or what do you think?
There are no coincidences. So, okay, now it's about to get fun. I need a short break. Is Mermaid still in here?
No, it's just you and I, brother, and I'm actually getting a little tired, so I'd like to go maybe another 17 minutes, and we'll pick this up again tomorrow. How's that sound, brother?
Yeah, I think, and we could even just end on this Q post, or the Snowden one. Where was I going on this here?
Yeah,
so
like
make sure you guys,
because we're going to set up for Sunday's show about Sunday's Snowden.
Yeah. So so this went a little different direction, but we're still going to definitely hit the Snowden part. Guys, check hop into Qschqql. And if you see this from a recording, still come and vote, guys. We're on t.me/Qschqql with all Q's there. We're doing daily recordings around 7:17 p.m. Eastern time. That's the weeknights, I would say. This Saturday, we're not going to have one, but we will have a Qschqql Digging 101. So make sure you guys check that out. I think the ladies will be hosting that. Hopefully we can make that work. Keep an eye out. Then, of course, we got Ladies Night. Why don't you tell them about Ladies Night real quick, Tim?
Yeah, we were talking about it earlier in the show. For all the ladies that are here with us right now, tomorrow night, which is or it's actually tonight, my time zone. Tonight, March 5th at 8:17 p.m. Eastern here on the Qschqql channel. It's called Ladies Night. So all the ladies are going to come on to chat. All the men will be muted. Hard muted. That's the red mute, like you guys are all muted now. Now the guys can raise their hand and maybe ask the girls a question, but it's ladies' night. So they're going to get on here and, we're going to share some videos, maybe some music. They're going to just talk about life in general and, what this movement means to them and such. So it's really exciting. It's the first time we've ever done it. So we invite all the patriotic ladies around the world to come in and join us here on Qschqql on March 5th. 8:17 p.m., brother.
It's Ladies Night. Amen, brother. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
I think it's just a great idea, too. I love it. So like I said, shout out to all the ladies in the movement. So very exciting. So that's going on there. But if you go to Qschqql here, t.me, Qschqql with all the Qs, come go vote on this here. with Edward Snowden, white hat, black hat. And then this was good to do too, Tim. Check this out. John Perry Barlow, even with all the brilliant digital soldiers anons in here, we got 29% voted white hat, none voted black hat, but 71% just don't know who he is. Who is John Perry Barlow? And I think that's another thing we'll do. Maybe we'll have that a regular Sunday thing like we did in the past, kind of dig on a specific person. We still got to do Admiral Rogers, but this Sunday we're going to be covering Snowden. And the reason I asked John Perry Barlow is because when you read the Q posts, there's some major connection from John Perry Barlow to Edward Snowden. So the John Perry Barlow post I hear, that's the link. I think I have Barlow up here somewhere. There it is. Okay, let's see. How about this? At Snowden, where are you? Not Russia. Eyes on, you are now a liability. Helping at Jack. Okay, at Jack is a reference to Jack from Twitter. I can't think of his last name right now. The CEO of Twitter, at Jack. Project Deep Dream, V2, A in the kill box. This is actually crazy how they do this one. That's a whole lot. I'm not going to get into that one. Deep Dream, this is connected to Jason Bourne, right? The program for programming assets. Deep Dream is the Born Identity type thing, but it says think social media. Another Q post, very interesting statement. We will never forget. That makes me think of 9/11. ES failed. Who is that? Eric Schmidt? Is it Edward Snowden? Is it somebody else? Where is ES? Is this where is Edward Snowden? And then boom, John Perry Barlow. Define the end. The day of reckoning is upon us. Wow, John 3:16. So again, started with that Snowden. We get a John Perry Barlow in there. Let's just scan real quick the John Perry Barlow posts. One more here. At Snowden, look at another one. John Perry Barlow and Snowden's in there too. Why are they connected? Why are they so connected? At Snowden, the clock is ticking. What's the date on this one? January 2018. At Snowden, the clock is ticking. How's Russia, Mr. Contractor? Freedom of the press, John Perry Barlow. Secure drop, whistleblowers. Secure drop, clowns in America. Nobody is safe. Q. Here's a big one too about James Dolan dead, Aaron Schwartz, Kevin Paulson, turned over secure drop to freedom of the press, secured drop freedom of the press, John Barlow, Snowden, Assange, John Cusack. I don't understand how John Cusack plays in this. We got to dig on that for sure. Daniel Ellsberg, Glenn Greenwald. Okay, let me keep going here. John Barlow, VP Algae Systems, treating wastewater. Barlow, and then Clack and Burning Man. And this is, I'm originally from Northern Nevada, and Burning Man's right out there in my backyard in the Black Rock Desert. So interesting how that pops up in the Q tweets there. I don't know how to say that. Q post, not Q tweets. The big question, who controls Snowden? Okay, dead, suicide, Barlow, 187. John Perry Barlow, 187, post name drop at Snowden. You are now a liability. Why is there so many Snowden drops with John Perry Barlow in there also? Now, there's one I want to catch is the link or the bridge. That's kind of where we're at right now on this Delta that I'm going to cover. But let me just scan one more, see if something catches my attention. That's a long one right there. Okay, so that's it there. I swear, I thought there's one where it's the bridge, or that's what we're about to cover anyways. So I must have missed it somehow. But we'll come up on it right now. So let's go to the Delta. This is the drops we're about to come up on. The 4-year Deltas. Okay, so we did 834, the bridge. Okay, this is a big part of this, the bridge drop. We got Snowden in there. No John Perry Barlow yet on that one. And then we just did this amazing, I'm going to call it the Tim post, Tim's birthday post with 17 minutes past the hour. We got that amazing connection. White Hat's in there. Tim's in there with the birthday. We got everybody. Pretty cool thing. Now, this next drop, this is a special one to me, 836. Let me just read 837, though. Let's see what this YouTube is, see if it comes up. Okay, so this is a power video. This was in the that Great Awakening video Tim played too. Watch this if you haven't. The title is, this video will get Donald Trump elected. 5 million views. I'm quite sure they reduce those views all the time. 131,000 likes. Anyways. And, you know, this has been doing this lately, too. I don't remember it doing this, Tim. It's automatically coming up on closed captioning. What is it? Finnish. Okay. I don't know why. It doesn't even give me the option to do a different language. It's like this is mandatory on this video. What does that mean, guys? We got to connect those dots. And weren't you, remember, Tim, Finland, the blue and white queue that we have? We're missing something here. It's something big. So, anyways, this is like an automatic closed captioning in Finnish. even though he speaks here in English. But check this video out. I'm going to play like 20 seconds just so you see kind of what it looks like.
A failed and corrupt political establishment with a new government controlled by you, the American people. The Washington establishment and the financial and media corporations that fund it exists for only one reason: to protect and enrich itself.
That's it, man. They're enriching themselves. It's not about you.
The establishment has trillions of dollars.
You know, they have all this money, all the resources, but they want to keep themselves. I mean, think about that. Is that too far to, is that a stretch to think these super rich people want to remain rich, want to remain in power, that they might work together to make that happen, and maybe in possibly nefarious ways? It doesn't seem like it to me. So listen carefully. Trust. We are fighting for you. God bless all. That's what this is all about, guys. There's good people fighting for us, and good things are happening. And man, we got to make sure we stay up on these deltas here. We got a boom coming up, and other things here. How about this relevant to Ukraine? Think about the future proofs past or quantum part of this. Do you trust the mainstream media? I mean, think about this Ukraine stuff, all the fake video, fake everything. They're showing video clips or image clips from 4 years ago, or some blue checkmark clown on Twitter shares an image of, you know, this couple departing and they're crying because the guy's going to have to go off to war. But no, it's an actual clip from a movie, literally a movie scene. Why would they do that? Or there's this fighter jet fight and it's actually a video game image. Why would they do that? Do you trust Facebook? Do you trust Google? Do you trust DARPA? Excuse me. I mean, do you trust YouTube, Twitter? Okay, narrative, censorship. How much censorship have you seen? They say it's to protect you. Why wouldn't they just give you the information and let you decide? Do they really? Can you think about that? These people censoring all this information say that you're too stupid to figure out what's right and what's wrong, that we need to protect you. How do you feel about that? Fake. Okay, they want you divided. Same scenario, okay? Divided you are weak. Okay, we got to organize together and work together as one. So that's what it is, and I want to cover then the end on the Snowden. Pick it up for a second, add any last thoughts, and then I'm going to go into the Snowden post, and then we'll have a in the night, and I'll be hanging out here in the chat, though. We'll probably play something fun, and then, of course, Saturday will be a special day. We'll have the digging school, and then ladies' night.
I saw Dustin had his hand up there, so while you're getting ready for that, I'm going to allow Dustin to come on. Go ahead, brother. Unmute.
Hey guys, I just posted in the chat President Trump singing "Happy Birthday." I want to wish Tim a happy birthday, and if we have time for the recording, please play that. That'd be great. Happy birthday, Tim.
Thanks, Dustin. Love you, brother. Thank you. Thank you for all you do too, and helping us along here on Qschqql too. You've been a big, big help for us, and you're another one of our brothers from another mother, man. Just a beautiful digital soldier. Thank you so much.
Okay. All right. What do we have here? All right. So what do we have? Oh, let's play this. This is a good one. Let's do it. We got time. We got time, Dustin. Play your birthday
If you
song.
look around, you can't be happy to see where our country is headed. Protests and looting are so common, it doesn't always even make.
It's my birthday on June 14th, Flag Day.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you.
Thanks, guys. Happy birthday, Tim.
Thanks, guys.
We love you.
Man, that was cool. All right, so let me see here. Okay, I'm gonna check that out here, D&D, in just a second. And I think we should I almost want to just put this separately on a recording, Tim, but
What, the that last post, you mean?
yeah.
That one? Yeah, I don't mind that. Yeah, we can wrap it up, brother. You know, give
Well,
us
no, I want to share this, but I was gonna just maybe in the recording, and then we'll just do one more separately because I want to add this audio. It's actually okay. We'll just leave it. Let's just leave the recording, and I'll talk to you about. We'll talk about it later. It's all good. Leave it going here. So, okay, guys, with the Snowden posts. All right, we didn't get into it too much. My one, there's so many posts. We have so much. I feel like it'll be a 10-part series ultimately. Look at 56 drops with Snowden in it. And as I kind of referenced, if you're familiar with the Q information, why does the NSA military intelligence have at least what you know of that allows of data collection? Think Snowden. Okay, why has the NSA limited our ability to capture and unmask U.S. persons? Okay. Well, Snowden really harmed the NSA in a way by coming forward with the information that he did. And really a lot of what he shared, Snowden was in the CIA before the NSA. And what it's a common name saying is once on the farm, always on the farm, meaning once in the CIA, always in the CIA. So they basically made it seem like Snowden then moved over to the NSA and then ultimately got in high up there and then dropped all this information which harmed the NSA. And to generalize this, which you can't really, but generally the NSA are the good guys, the white hats, the CIA are the bad guys and the black hats. But it's much more complicated than that. There's bad guys in the NSA and there's good guys in the CIA, but you can generalize that. And the CIA is against the NSA, certainly. And Snowden seems to be an infiltrator that harmed a bunch of things in the NSA by first he went to the CIA. And then when he released all of his files, that whole situation at first, it was really exposing a lot of the NSA's tools for spying and stuff, but nothing so much about the CIA. So why wouldn't he share more about the CIA if he was, actually really just wanting to get the information out? It seemed quite apparent. How do you blind the clowns in America? What was Snowden's primary mission? Hold on, is this the post here? Okay, what was Snowden's primary mission? What was Snowden's real primary mission? Was Snowden truly acting on his own, or was he, put there by the CIA to harm the NSA? Okay, the way Q drops pull out here. It seems here's a great one. Snowden open source Prism key score. This is tech geek stuff. Not geeks. I love you guys, but I'm not super tech savvy. But these different programs, if you're a computer whiz, you'll know this stuff. Snowden open source Prism /key store, catastrophic to United States military versus bad actors worldwide. Plus the clowns minus no such agency. That's exactly what I'm saying. Is basically it helped the clowns, the CIA. It harmed the NSA. Okay, Snowden, even though some people think what he did was noble, other people think he's a traitor. According to the Q drops, it seems like Snowden it was the plan all along to actually harm the NSA and help the CIA. So what do we think about that? And that's why we asked black hat, white hat. What does that mean exactly? What's up with Snowden? How's Russia? Almost time. Almost time for what? Okay, at Snowden, the clock is ticking. Okay, Q's kind of putting the threat out there. Is Q talking to the black hats again, taunting Snowden like we know where you are? Okay, it says not, where are you? Not Russia. Let's look at a few more. Ooh, interesting. JFK conference room. There's an at Snowden there. There's another John. That was our connection. Here's John. This is what John Perry Barlow looks like, by the way. Okay, so let me just one last few thoughts about Snowden. But otherwise, when we read the Q drops, it seems quite apparent that Snowden again harmed the NSA, the good guys, and he helped the CIA. Right? What if Snowden was still a clown? Okay, why would it be important? He was in Russia. Learn. How about that too? Why would he go to China, then drop his information before he wanted to get to his ultimate location, Russia? Why wouldn't you just go to Russia first and then share the information? Does that really make any sense? It certainly doesn't to me, I guess, right? Here we go. At Snowden, where are you? Not Russia. Okay, so it seems quite apparent in the Q drops that Q is, calling out Snowden. He seems to be a traitor. But what if it was all mirror and think misdirection? So now I'm going to do my little razzle dazzle here just to give you a taste of the things we will dig into on Snowden. And most people in the Q movement, again, everyone has independent free thinking, have always put Snowden in the black cat. He's the one that exposed, harmed the NSA, et cetera, et cetera. Now, this is even bigger than we can even fathom, that that Snowden guy might just be an alias and he might be an actor in the general. He might actually not be the real Snowden. That confuses the hell out of me if it isn't confusing already. But let's do a little something on this post here. So one last well wishes, Tim. Then I'm gonna do my thing on this post. Oh, it's not this one. Let me make sure I get on the right post then. And then yeah, we'll call it a night.
5-5, brother. Are you doing that Delta post? Is that the one you're talking about?
Yep. Let's go to that one. Yep, there it is, 8:36. So go ahead, buddy. Any last words?
Yeah, no, I just want to thank everybody again for coming on here and joining us again. We're going to keep the chat open right after the recording's done. I'm just going to lay down now and listen to you guys have some fun here, and I'm looking forward to obviously Saturday night's ladies' night, and then Sunday. I'm glad you showed all the Snowden stuff there and you kind of scanned through it. But we've got a couple of probably 3 or 4 or 5 weeks of digs to go with Snowden. So I'm looking forward to that. But God bless all of you. Thank you. We'll see you next time on Qschqql. I'll be opening the chat tomorrow morning sometime. Enjoy your night here with Kyle. He's doing the night shift. So on that note, I say where we go one,
we go all.
We go.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, everybody. Love, love, love. Have a good night.